What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we have the Springfield M1A. The Springfield M1A came out in the 1970s sometime. I believe it was 1974, and they were released as the civilian semi-auto version of the select fire M14s that were being used in the military, but they are not the exact same rifle, and there are a few key differences. So the M14 was designed to replace 4 different guns: the M1 Garand, the M1 Carbine, the M3 Grease Gun, and the BAR, which of course it did not successfully do. It's kind of big and heavy to replace an SMG, and it's too small and lightweight and doesn't have the magazine capacity to replace an LMG. But the development of the M14 for the military is kind of what gave us civilians the M1A years later. And by the way, I know that a lot of rifles are just civilian versions of military rifles. Like the AR-15, for instance, is the same exact thing that they use in the military, just minus the auto sear. Same thing with the SCAR and a lot of others. Most iconic firearms were developed or at least used in some sort of military capacity, and then we get the civilian semi-auto version shortly after. The M1A, however, is different than the M14 and was developed for the civilian market. So just a few of the differences: the M1A obviously does not have select fire capabilities, and it lacks the selector switch that you would see on the M14. The receiver of the M1A is also built out of 8620 alloy steel, whereas the M14s were built out of being drop forged, which I believe is a much more complicated and probably expensive process. The M14 also had a bayonet lug, which you will not see on the newer M1As. I think the older ones did have it, but after 94, they did not put them back on. So most M1As that you see nowadays do not have the bayonet lug that the M14 had. So just some minor differences. They are very, very similar, and if you didn't know any better, you would probably think they're the exact same rifle. And believe it or not, I have never shot an M1A before, so I'm kind of excited. Let's try it out. All right, let's take our very first shots with the Springfield M1A. It takes a 20-round box magazine. I only put 10 rounds in this one, and it's a gas-operated rotating bolt firearm, and I absolutely love these open actions like this. It reminds me of the M1 Garand. Of course, there are downsides to it, which is why you don't see them on a ton of modern firearms, but they just look so freaking cool. It's kind of nostalgic. Let's see how it feels. These gloves are kind of slippery, so hopefully I can hang on to it. Oh yeah. The 308 is such a satisfying round to shoot because it doesn't have a ton of recoil, but it's just enough to let you know that you're holding on to a beast. One really cool feature on the M1A is this little stabilizing brace that comes off the buttstock, and I have never seen that before. I'm sure it's on other rifles as well, but it helps you to stabilize the gun when it's on your shoulder so it doesn't move around as much. Let's try it. It actually works really well. Okay, that actually felt really good, and it allows you to loosen up your grip in the back because the rifle is just kind of resting on your shoulder, which of course also equals less wobble and more accurate shots. That's pretty cool. I'll go ahead and give you guys a right-handed magazine dump so you can maybe see the action and the ejection pattern a little bit better. Don't make fun of me if I miss the target because I'm left-handed. It feels so weird trying to get down on iron sights with my right eye. Not bad. And by the way, you probably will not be able to see them, but the M1A essentially has a ghost ring sight setup, just like most battle rifles from the 50s and 60s. And for iron sights, they're great. Probably one of my favorites, actually. But of course, it would be a little easier to shoot with an optic of some sort. But with a gun like this, I think it's only right that you just use the iron sights and leave it as is because they look so freaking cool. So this last week here in the Midwest of the United States, which is where I'm at, we got hit with some pretty bad weather and it got down to like minus 30 degrees. And I got to thinking, we keep water jugs right here behind our backstop just in case we ever want something to shoot. And I imagine they probably froze over the weekend. If they did, I want to light them up with the M1A. So let's go check. And just as I suspected, these things are absolutely frozen solid. Let's shoot them. All right, we have 5 of them lined up on the table, and first I want to see how much ice it takes to stop a 308, and then we'll finish them off. Put your guesses in the comments. I say probably 2 at the most. Those things are frozen solid. I might have been wrong. You know what else is frozen solid is my face. So if I'm slurring my words, it's not because I'm drunk, I just can't feel my lips. All right, let's see if we can figure out how much ice this 308 went through. So here is water jug number 1, and it's kind of hard to tell if there's an entrance hole or an exit hole because it's just completely blown apart. And then here in front of the table, we have number 2, and you can see it's also pretty much destroyed. It looks like I might have put that bullet a little bit to the side, but it definitely blew straight through that one and completely exploded the jug. And then number 3 is still here on the table. So I was wrong, it went through at least 2 and into the 3rd. This one has quite a bit less damage, but it definitely did go into that 3rd one. And then back here we have 2 more. And these look like they're pretty much untouched. There is a little mark right there, but that could just be from the other water jug hitting it. And number 5 looks to be the same. I would love to find that bullet. Don't know if you guys can see that, but I think I found our bullet right there in that 3rd water jug. Ice jug, I should say. So let me try to dig it out. Got it. And check it out. It is completely intact, a little bit deformed, obviously, but that bullet did not break apart at all. That is so cool. I'm trying to get the rest of this ice off of it, but you guys get the point. That is the entire 308 bullet still intact. So the 308 went through 2 full gallons of ice and stopped in the 3rd. And as usual, my prediction was incorrect. But that's pretty awesome that that bullet stayed intact and we were actually able to find it in that 3rd ice jug. Did not expect that. Let's finish them off. Some of those took bullets straight to the middle and didn't even move. I thought I missed at first, but I definitely hit them. There we go. Let's finish it off with some 12 packs and 2 liters. The 308 typically does not require follow-up shots. I'll hit that fruit punch one more time. There we go. Yes. Just because a caliber doesn't require follow-up shots doesn't mean they're a bad idea. And those are my wise words for the day. All right, guys, there you have it, the Springfield M1A. I love it. What else can I say? I kind of expected to, just from what I've heard about it over the years and looking at the freaking thing before I even shot it. It obviously looks great. It worked perfectly, and it's a staple in American firearms history. So it kind of checks all the boxes. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. And if you want more content, channel updates and stuff like that, of course you can follow me on Instagram as well. I will put links for all social media down in the description box below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.